welcome back to XP Waste, where I've never cried because I can't kill Fazani's nightmare. That would be horrible. Who would I would never do something like that. Hi, I'm Oxie.
And I am Michael. If this is your first time tuning in and checking us out, thank you so much. We want to offer you a warm welcome to the XP Waste podcast. We are a RuneScape podcast, sometimes Old School RuneScape to be exact. We talk about news, we talk about updates, we talk about things happening in the game, things happening with us in the game of RuneScape. Occasionally, we'll sometimes get off on tangents, but that's okay. If you're not new here, hello and welcome back.
If you're not new here, you know that's total bullshit. And we get off on tangents all the time on the show.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't trying to scare them off. You know, like we're in the first 30 seconds of entering.
Well, no, that was a good hook.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was a good hook. I think if I were new and I heard that hook, I'd be like, okay, damn, I'm going to stick around.
Nice, yeah.
This is some good content.
I came here for like less tangents, so I'm going to stick around.
Yeah. They said finally, a podcast that could stay on track. Little do they know. They've already committed to at least 40 hours of content if they're brand new.
Oh, no. And this is a tangent as we speak.
Yeah, we don't even know what we're supposed to be talking about. Michael, how was your week?
It was good. What is today? That's kind of where my week is going.
All right. Good talk. We see how it's going.
I got the jab, the old booster shot this week on Tuesday. The pharmacist told me it's going to put you down. Like, you're probably going to have flu-like symptoms. And oh boy, was she right. I went to bed Tuesday night and I got up at 4 a.m. for two reasons. One, to play the new update, which happened at 5 a.m. my time. And then two, because I was just feeling kind of crappy and I couldn't sleep. So it was a double-edged sword. Like, I probably maybe wouldn't have felt so bad had I just kept sleeping. But I ended up sleeping the entire day on Wednesday. And then subsequently, I've still been trying to slowly recover. There's been like a bunch of stuff going up in my nasal passages, and it's been okay. But yeah, not a lot happening in RuneScape, if I'm 100% honest. Like, I don't know if it's just like post-mining burnout that I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do and how I want to do it. But I think I've logged maybe a total of 5 hours, 10 hours this week, which is baby numbers for me. Like, I can usually do like 3 to 5 hours a day, at night at least. So that's my week. That's why I say, like, what day is it? It's Sunday, obviously. We're recording this on Sunday. But how are you, Oxie?
I'm good. I've had an all right week in RuneScape so far. Next came out this past week. Wow, did I burn the out of myself doing Next. I got up at 5 a.m. Eastern time, hopped on the PC at like 6, was chatting with the boys, got my stuff together for the boss or whatever. Was outside the room. Game opened. I killed Nex from probably 6:30 a.m. Eastern time all the way until like 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh my gosh.
Which I know for some people listening, like, isn't even a lot of time spent at Nex, but it was like 7.5 or 8 like straight hours. Like, I think I went to the bathroom once in that whole period, and it was because I was already stopping to resupply. Like, I had breakfast at 6.
Oh gosh.
And then I genuinely may not have eaten anything until I got off at 2 o'clock.
Wow.
Like, I always joke about degenning, but the day Next came out was like the most legitimate like degen content I've had. And it got to the point where, like, I can't even say I was having a whole lot of fun doing it after a while. I think once, like, 1 o'clock hit, I was like, time to go do literally anything else.
Yeah.
I didn't see any drops in my name. None of the boys that I was with on the split team saw any sellable drops. Our boy Kyle got the Nextling pet on 6KC.
I was going to bring that up. Like,
Yeah,
it's probably the first in the world, if not like at least the first 2 or 3.
yeah. If somebody didn't record it, like if there was somebody may have gotten a 1KC next pet, he got it within the first like half hour of launch.
Yeah.
Like it was very possible as the first in the world. That was pretty exciting. I mean, otherwise, next I made like an okay amount of money, like 10 mil just from drops itself.
Oh, that's not bad.
I haven't explored any of the new metas. I am the only one of the boys with the hard combat achievement diary done though, so I'm the only one who can open an instance for right now. People will catch up once they announce the instances for next. All the boys were like, all right, shit, guess I gotta do combat diaries. So people have been doing the easies and the mediums. Like people who are very good at PVM have been like, yo, I'm at like a Wintertodt brick wall or like a Temporos brick wall. But it's been fun to watch the boys get all that done. But hopefully we'll do like a clan mass sometime soon.
Yeah.
Once I burnt out a Nex, I have been just vibing. I have sent a grand total of 0 Inferno attempts since the last episode. Well, I haven't sent any from Sunday to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
From Sunday to Wednesday, I'll probably have sent 1 or 2.
Right.
So you can ask me how it's going, and I'll probably just respond with more screaming, unless I have the cape. If I get the cape, it's going to be a very different opening.
Yeah.
For this episode, because that's going to be our cold opener. One day, our cold opener is going to be the recording of me getting my Inferno cape. It'll just be the audio of me screaming, because I do plan on recording it. I don't know if I'm going to stream it, because the last thing I need at Zuck is for someone to come into my stream and host and be like, oh my god, welcome to the family, honey. Or have something pop up while I'm trying to do Zuck. So probably not going to stream, and I will just record it on OBS so I can have the clip.
I gotcha. I was going to ask, like, are you recording every attempt, blah, blah, blah. But like when you get to the point where you're at Zuck, then you'll just start the recording.
Yeah, I'm not going to record. You know how much footage that is?
That's a lot.
That's like at least 30 hours of just failed Inferno attempts on my hard drive at that point if I recorded every run. That'd be bad.
Don't recommend it.
Yeah, I saw, man, it's been a slow week. I actually streamed today and got some levels towards diaries. It's been a slow week. It's been like moderate PVM, but nothing, I don't know, nothing super crazy. Okay, here's a weird thing I've done this week, which the listeners are going to think it's not Inferno avoidance. It's kind of Inferno avoidance.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I have a new strategy for the groupie. So the groupie has Premier Club now. So the plan is to get 65 fletching for Diamond Bolts, do In Search and In Aid of the Marique, Temple Trek for bowstrings, continuously use the bowstrings with the unstrung longbows to continue, like, get my fletching level higher, so I can make darts for when we eventually get blowpipes. Michael came into VC. I told him the plan, and he's like, how you gonna get dart tips? And I went, and remembered I hate Iron Man mode. But now I've committed, and I have 4,000 maple logs in the bank, so the boys are gonna have diamond bolts on this account. I do still plan on getting quest done and going for bowstrings and all that, but the thought of Darkness of Hollowvale again makes me hurt. But I have Quest Helper now, so maybe Darkness of Hollowvale won't be so bad.
You know you can't use Quest Helper, right? Like, it's just one of those quests you have to suffer through.
Listen, I've done Darkness of Hollowvale without Quest Helper. I've done Morning's End Part 2 without Quest Helper. I've paid my dues to Guthix and the Quest Gods. I'm going to use Quest Helper. If you've never used Quest Helper, you absolutely should turn it off for Darkness of Hollowvale and Morning's End Part 2.
Right. Because you have to do the first time without it. You have to.
It is a trial. It is an experience that you will never get again. And every RuneScape player has to go through that same pain. I'm not one to be like, oh, I had to do it difficult, so you have to do it difficult too. Except in this case. I'm all for quality of life. Quest Helper should not work for Darkness of Hollowvale and Morning's End Part 2.
The Darkness of Hollowvale is the one where you have to, like, go through the city, like up
like
ladders.
6 times.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
It's awful.
You almost memorize
Finishing-
it like by the end. You almost memorize it.
Dude, I get lost every single time I try to go because once you do Sins of the Father, you get like some of the fastest Slayer XP per hour because you can cannon mutated Bloodvelds in the lab where you do Sins of the Father.
Yeah.
I get lost every single time I go there. I have done that task so many times, and I get lost every time on my way there. So,
even after Sins of the Father, there's no shortcut. I haven't done anything in that city after Sins of the Father.
So there's a shortcut where you can leave Darkmire, but you have to run across the city of Darkmire to get to the shortcut, and then you have to run down through the buildings, do a little mazy do, and then go up through the little thing to get to the lab. It's real confusing.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
I will say, of the two, that area in the game is probably more miserable because once you do Morning's End Part 2, you can just get to the Death Altar through the Abyss. Like, you never need to go through the Temple of Light again.
Yeah.
Once you finish Morning's End Part
2. Scape said in the recording booth chat, he said, run out of Tob and get sent to the mines for the lab.
Yes, but you still have to mine 15 Dayalt ore, and the mine and the shortcut from Darkmire are on literally like the same set of tiles in that area. So you still have to make the little mazy do run to get there. It's worth it because you get like 60k Slayer experience an hour there, and especially if you have Bloodvelds extended, you get some fatty Slayer XP real quick. But yeah, the run there is not great.
The thing about RuneScape is everything is always a trade-off. So the fact that you're getting fast Slayer XP is almost negated by the time it takes to get there. Like another example of that is like, oh, Dale gives you 50% more XP. But there's the dumb trade-off of you have to go and get the Dale to then use it. And at that point, you're not really saving time. It just feels like you are. But, RuneScape.
But I feel that this game really is a game of trade-offs, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the whole thing. There's always a catch in RuneScape. There's literally always a catch. You want the best in slot melee cape, you have to suffer. You want the best in slot cape, period, you have to suffer in a different way for a long period of time. You want fast anything, I don't know. Even it's balance is what it is.
Yeah,
it's not sufferscape. It's just balance. Like,
it's perfectly balanced,
and it's fun. That's part of what makes it fun.
One day in this game, there will be something that's like slips past the developer's eyes of like balancing, and we'll get to enjoy it for a little bit before Reddit complains about it, and then they'll balance it. I'm just waiting for that day.
What do you mean, like Camdazol when that first came out?
Yes. Okay, so there has been things.
Hot and pissed about Camdazol when they nerfed it, dude.
It's so stupid. Why? Like, why put something in the game? And we can get into this because I'm still pissed about it. Why put something into the game and then just day of release nerf it? Like, you had
it was like 24 hours. It was bad.
You had to sit there and develop the content with the idea and the knowledge that it was the XP rates that it was. And then you hit go live on content that you developed. And then you nerf it because it's too strong. Well, why not just release it at the XP rates that you have it at now? So stupid.
In 44 weeks of doing this podcast, I have never once heard Michael speak with that accent or inflection before, so he was tilted when they nerfed it. That's just a small taste.
Yeah.
He was absolutely tilted.
So stupid.
What are you doing right now in game, Michael? Update the viewers. What are you doing in game?
Okay, so I have gone the hardest I've ever gone in two skills that absolutely suck. Runecrafting and mining. And I'm going to round off the suck trilogy. And, oh, no, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, you're never gonna play this game again, dude. Oh my god, please don't say that.
Oxie was freaking out. He thought I was gonna say, I'm gonna get 99 agility without stopping. No. I am. I mean, we talked about it last week in our goals. And I've posted my goals. Scape said, do it, you won't. I won't. You're right. I posted my goals in the TNL Discord. So if you're in the Discord, you can see that right now my goals are to skill hop, because I haven't done that in a long time. Like, I haven't skill hopped since early 2021, probably, when I was going for my diary cape. Ever since then, I got my diary cape. It's almost been like 99 one at a time. I got 99 wood cutting, I got 99 smithing, then 99 rune crafting, and then 99 mining. I really haven't done much else. So it's been really nice to just log in and be like, hey, what am I going to do today? Not, hey, gonna go mining. Gonna make some runes. So right now I'm doing agility at the Priv course because I agility arguably is the suckiest skill I have left, and it's the lowest skill I have currently. So I told myself today that I'm not gonna just put it off to the end. Like, for me to live and to breathe and still love this game after I max, I need to do agility very slowly and over the course of time. So if I can just bust out 50 to 100 laps a day, every other day, a week, whatever, then that's how I'm going to get it done. So that's my goal. Right now I've done 17 laps.
I was going to say, that's not even a bad strat, because if it ends up where agility is the last one anyway, but agility is the last one and you're already at 97, like, that's not bad.
Right. And then
85 to 99. I was streaming earlier today. Michael messages me, and the way I read it was from 85 to 89. It takes 11,000 laps at Artie to get 4 levels. And I'm like, I don't ever want to train agility. What? And I looked again, it was 85 to 99.
Yeah.
I was real concerned. I'm like, Michael, are you sure you want a max cape? Like, is it worth it at that point? Is that something like 40,000 Artie laps?
Oh, dude, I would never. It takes 45 seconds to do a lap at Artie. I think 46 according to the wiki. And the only reason I know that it's like 11,000 something to 11,200 roughly is somebody on Instagram did it. They went from 85 with pies all the way to 99 just doing Artie, and they said their lap count was like 11,200 something. I'm like, okay, strapping in.
On the bright side, I just ran the numbers. 11,200 laps at 46 seconds a lap is only 143.1 repeating hours of agility. Assuming, of course, you're literally tick perfect.
Yes. So for me, I always add at least 10 to 20 hours to whatever calculations somebody gives me. So for me, it's probably closer to like 160 to 170 hours if I'm just doing it. And that seems miserable. That's like another.
Yeah, it does.
And okay, here's my thought process though, because I did that math. I was like, here's the math. Here's what I can do. And I thought, okay, 167 hours, 170 hours without stopping and doing nothing else in the game sounds miserable. But if I do 1 hour a day, I'll have it done in 170 days without really thinking about it. And I can still I can still do other things. And I only did an hour of agility a day. It doesn't seem like so much of a chore at that point.
It's really not a bad shout. You just have to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's got to be the hardest part is keeping up with it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of free time after the baby goes to sleep. Like, probably 5 hours, give or take. And agility is one of those things, like, if I'm just sitting at the computer, I can watch videos, I can be talking in Discord, I can watch TV with my wife. We can just hang out and do it. You know what I mean? It's like,
remember
just
that
knock it out
segment
an
from
hour.
the first episode where we said give our recommendations for things.
Yeah.
This is my recommendation for you, returning after like 40 weeks of just Michael and I forgetting about it. If you're training agility, like rooftop agility or priff agility, Sepulcher is a bit more intensive than that. Like, Sepulcher isn't difficult, but it's not brain dead. Like, Sepulcher is a lot of fun. It's like really reactionary, but it's not like Canifis course 500 times brain dead. Go on YouTube, find a series you haven't seen before. It could be Swampletics, it can be IDFAP, it could be by release, it could be a series for a different game. I made it through a lot of my RuneScape grinds while watching a creator called CJ the Cheese DJ play through the entire Arc story. Find like really long form YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And suddenly agility is the easiest skill in the game.
Yeah.
Because you don't even have to look sometimes.
Right.
Like where you just have to click, turn, you get like 10 seconds of watching, click, turn, like you're good. That's my recommendation to you. Find a long form series or one of those like 12-hour compilations.
Yeah,
like Settle just
Swampletics.
released all 12 hours of Swampletics. Just do that. Just watch the whole thing. Go episode at a time. Watch the whole series. It doesn't matter because it's going to make it so fast.
And unless you're playing on like vanilla client RuneScape, the Steam client and RuneLite both have agility clickbox highlighters.
Yo, the Steam client has clickboxes now.
I think so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It was one of those things that they added, or it was in the mobile beta. I don't remember, but just play on RuneLite. That's all I could say about that.
At this point, unless you're playing on mobile, just play on RuneLite, bro.
Yeah.
Just play on RuneLite.
Anytime I go to a new course for agility, I always go and do it on RuneLite for a couple of hours so that you can kind of get familiar with where the click boxes are because they highlight them. And then once you do jump back to mobile, you kind of know where to tap without having to like tap all over the screen to find the red X. Because that's the most annoying part. Sometimes these click boxes are so tiny.
Or they're like weirdly shaped.
Yeah.
Like some of the ones at the Varrock agility course
They're like
are like a
long
tile
strips.
wide, but they're like 4 tiles high.
Yeah.
It's really weird where you could click like completely off the roof and still be in whatever.
Yeah.
They're very strange. You're right. Oh, I just got a medium clue bottle from fishing. Let's go. That's what I'm doing in game. I'm fishing on my main and I am fletching on the group.
You're double logged during the podcast?
I am multi-logged. The Scape has recently coined a term that I think is so endearing for people like me. We've kind of landed on DX lasagna because you sweat so much your chair smells like lasagna. And that's how I'm feeling right now. So the YouTube people, I keep looking back and forth. Yeah, that's why. We've got fletching, we've got barbarian fishing, we've got Michael.
Hey, that's
and occasionally
me.
the recording booth chat down here. So
Darkside is in the Mr. Darkside 76, shout out. He's in the recording booth chat right now and he said ring light check? ? Is your ring light turned on?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. My lighting is just scuffed. Here's the deal, right? So, I used to. All right, we're going on the tour, folks.
Okay. Audio,
I used to have
I'll
a lamp.
narrate for you. All right, he's got
I used to have a lamp right here.
showing us his wall.
Right, I used to have a lamp.
No lamp.
And
and we're back.
fell asleep on my bed.
All
right there.
Now we're seeing his bed.
And I apparently was laying on my leg in such a weird way that it just completely fell asleep.
Oh no.
Now, when I woke up from my nap, I had to leave for fencing because fencing started in like 5 minutes. So I panicked and went, shit, I've got to get to fencing. I sprung out of bed from like the end of my bed, the foot of my bed right here, got out of bed and just went, and completely fell over because my leg was like, there was no blood in my right leg.
Oh, no,
I fell over,
no.
hit the ground, hurt the out of my ankle,
Oh, no.
and in the process, knocked my lamp over and broke it. I don't mean broke the lampshade itself. The thing that holds the light bulb cracked off and is like dangling on the end and won't turn on now. So I normally have a good light right here from this angle.
Yeah.
And if I turn my ring light up too high, like that's just
It looks like you're
nobody wants
outside.
that. Yeah, so I have to get a good balance. I usually keep it on the lowest setting. I found that's good enough. Maybe like one up.
One up, yeah.
But even then, that still looks a little washed out from one side.
I don't know.
I don't know. I like it. This at least is consistent where like the shadows are across my whole face instead of just one side.
Sure.
It's not great. I've been looking in for a new light for a while. But while we're on the topic of me reorganizing my bedroom,
Yeah. Let's see it.
because I'm kind of thinking about moving my bed and moving my dresser, but I want to also keep B's cat thing right here because I like to be able to play video games with B. I've also been considering taking this and making it a little cat bed.
Oh, that'd be
but
cool.
I don't think she'll sit up there. I also don't want her on my desk. Anyways, I redid that.
Yeah, we're looking at his
In my
new background.
I got a shelf and I put some stuff up there. Santa brought me the first 20 years of RuneScape, and I flipped through that last night. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you haven't got that book, it's a great read.
I'm so jealous. I'm really
Then
jealous.
I've got a lot of other neat stuff. I don't think you can put my Swampletics disc plate down there.
Heck yeah. I wonder who got
I
that
think
for
they're-
you. Hmm?
I bought it for myself.
Oh.
They're
Oh,
like
you got the one
above
for
my
Skate.
head.
Okay.
They're above my head in the YouTube video. My friend went to Universal. The same friend that got me the DDS. She went to Universal, and she got me posters from the Jurassic World area for
Ooh.
Christmas, and they're like advertisements for the attractions at Jurassic World.
Yeah.
So one of them is like, ride the gyrosphere, dine with danger, a T-Rex kingdom, experience life underwater with the Mosasaur tunnel. Like, they're really cool. Like park. I don't know if you can see them if I lift my camera
yeah.
up, Michael.
Yeah, we can see
Yeah,
it.
they're pretty neat. They're pretty neat,
Cool.
but they're a little out of the camera angle, unfortunately. But
Very
I
neat.
can see them, and I absolutely love them. So
So
I did
audio
reorganize my background as well.
audio only listeners, if you're ever curious of what we're talking about and you don't know, we do have a YouTube channel. Just in the YouTube field, search XP Waste. You can throw in podcast in there, but I'm pretty sure XP Waste will get you there. Check out this video for any.
If you throw up XP Waste podcast, we'll definitely show up.
I'm just curious
if you
if you
just
throw
put
up
up
XP
XP
Waste. I'm curious because it's
Yeah.
scuffed with mine because obviously I've searched for XP Waste podcast before on a fresh account. I just want to know if it ever happens. GZ to
Yeah.
Dark Side 98 Slayer coming in.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we big GZ on that one.
One
would-
more left.
Love to check and see if there was like what's the word I'm thinking of? If you could get on like a new IP address,
Oh yeah.
like create a new account on a new IP address and then see what it is. Because I imagine my IP address also probably knows what I'm doing. I don't know. I have a VPN, but
I think it's only relevant that we talk a little bit about Leagues 3. I don't know if it was like just announced, but I just found out via like a Facebook post by Old School RuneScape that they announced the date. So officially, Leagues 3 is beginning. I always say like coming out, but like it's not like it's coming out. It's Leagues 3 will begin on January 19th, 2022. And that's a Wednesday for all you calendar nerds out there. You probably already knew that already. I don't know if we have calendar nerds out there.
a lot of calendar nerds here, do we?
I'm a calendar
We have a lot of
nerd.
RuneScape. We got a lot of RuneScape nerds who probably know that game updates come out on Wednesdays, so that makes sense. But
Do they though? Because sometimes they come out on Thursday. I don't know.
on occasion.
Wait, no, the modcasts are on Thursday. That's what it is.
Podcasts are on Thursday. Every Thursday at my lunch hour at work, because I start lunch at noon and the modcast is at noon Eastern time. I pull up my phone and I sit in my little chair with my lunch and I watch the mods talk about whatever. And it's an hour long. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can just, cut off the last 10 minutes because, like, I love user-generated content, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like, I want to know about things and I have to get back to doing work. So, it's good fun. But yes, Leagues 3 comes out. So, from the time of this episode,
A week.
will be a week.
1 week.
So why aren't we talking about this next week? This week, Michael and I kind of wanted to talk about what we know about leagues, which is admittedly a bit early.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of information from Sunday the 9th to Wednesday the 19th. We're going to get a lot of information.
Hopefully.
Even from Sunday to Wednesday, we'll probably get a lot of info. Like this upcoming, like the day this episode releases.
Yeah.
There'll probably be some stuff that we don't know. So Michael and I are going to work with the fundamentals of what we do know. And I could say Theorycraft. Michael said no. He's not doing any theory crafting. So I imagine Michael's just going to fly by the seat of his pants.
Every
We're going to bounce
time.
questions off each other.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. We may talk about leagues a little next week as well, but we are not sure how we're going to talk about it, but you'll probably hear about it.
Yeah,
We just figured if we're going to theory craft and give you a little bit of like strats for Shattered Relics, we might as well do it before Leagues comes out, so you don't like log in at 6:30 like some psychopaths here, and make your account and then listen to the episode.
Right. Because this gives you at least like a week to listen to our terrible strategies and then not do that. You have a whole week to decide.
This is true, and one thing I kind of want to put as a caveat, as you guys know, Michael and I are the single two most efficient RuneScape players on the planet. We never miss a tick. We're the best players in the game. PVM, skilling, PvP, no matter what it is, we're fantastic.
Literally so much EHP. They don't even track it anymore.
Exactly. We are. They call it EHP because Michael and I coined the term extra holy points because that's how well we were doing prayer. Well, I don't know what the f- I'm talking about. Michael and I aren't that good at this game when it comes to efficiency. So the plans we have probably aren't going to be the same as someone like Zulu or Solo Mission, who have tens of thousands of hours of just really good gameplay logged. So if we say something and it doesn't include birdhouse rushing or something like that, it's probably because Michael and I don't give a shit. Gotta level with you guys. There was a big thing for Trailblazer League, which was to like log in, do Daddy's Home, get the skilling prodigy thing, rush birdhouses, rush herb lords, all this crazy stuff. Like it's CBA, bro. I don't care.
I think that's one instance where like I'll actually say CBA because I cannot be asked. So a little backstory on me and my time with leagues. This has happened, and I guarantee you this will happen again for Shattered Relics. So Twisted League, I played for approximately 10 hours, maybe. I got Mithril Cup in the first ever league, and I was not having fun. I picked the wrong starting relic. I picked Devout whatever, the prayer one. Everybody picks Endless Endurance. And I'm like, I can make stamina potions. Yeah, son. There's no amylase crystals on Zaya. I was so dumb. And I didn't even consider just restarting. I just stopped playing leagues. Leagues 2 comes out. What was that one called? Trailblazer? Trailblazer comes out.
Yup, Trailblazer,
and I
baby.
got sick the day of release. I don't know why. I just got sick. All my friends were in Discord, in VC, bright and early. I roll up. I'm like, I'm actually sick. I can't even, like, my eyes won't stay awake right now. My eyes won't stay open right now. So I go back to bed pretty much the entire day. And I log in the next day and everybody's in like Dragon Cup. And I'm like, okay, so we're starting this off way behind. So I played approximately 10 hours of the second league as well. And I think I got Iron. I may have gotten Mithril Cup. I'd have to check. So here's my predictions for this league. Approximately 10 hours of gameplay. Mithril Cup. And unless something goes terribly right and I just fall in love with this new way that they have this league structured, I might actually play it. But I can't promise you guys much because I generally don't play League because I'm maxing an account. And when I have to play a fresh account and get all of the levels again, but way faster, it just feels way too demotivating. That's my TED Talk. Oxy, take it away.
All right. Well, that's Michael's main title content piece. He basically said leagues. I guess I'm taking it from here. I will say I felt so bad for you, Michael. Leagues 2 was so hype. We created a whole section on Discord, which will be open today, by the way. We have this section already made, but only the mods can see it. So it'll be open on Wednesday when this episode releases. So we can all start talking about Shattered Relics together. It's going to be really exciting. We talked about it for weeks. Michael had a plan. He was going to max. He wanted to get the Bloodhound pet in leagues because he wanted to take the Clue Relic so he could crank out Master Clues and get the Bloodhound pet. Michael woke up with us. He was part of the Leagues 2 Dawn Patrol for like 45 seconds because Leagues got delayed. Y'all were there for Leagues 2. It got delayed by like an hour and a half, day of release. And Michael connects to VC at like 6:20 my time. And was like, good morning, guys. I feel like shit. And we're like, what's wrong with you? You're like, I have some sort of cold or something. And we're like, go to bed. He came back a couple hours later and he's like, hey, RuneScape, made an account, and was like falling asleep at his desk. We're like, Michael, go back to bed. And he literally said ICBA and just never logged back in. Yeah. Because it was a little intimidating where like you're on like a fresh account and we all had like tier 3 relics on.
Yes.
Like we already had the 2-tick melee because the early points are super easy to earn in leagues, which if you've never played, oh my god, it's so good. But I'm hoping this year, Michael, you go in with these super low expectations of like, I'm not going to play this stupid game mode, and you have as much fun with it as we do. We all fell off leagues, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
We definitely all fell off. You know, such is the nature of the league, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
it was too long. I think the last one was just too long. People burned out and then stopped playing. And then they logged in the last week to get Dragon, like to keep up for Dragon.
Yup.
So
I had to keep up for Rune Cup. Bro, that last week of leagues was like the most stressful shit of my life. Competitive RuneScape is not fun. But leagues is a lot of fun. But like competing for ranks,
yeah,
you know, like Deadman mode, competing for like the top ranks leagues, it's so stressful. And it's just not the fun that RuneScape is for me. But that said, if you've never played leagues before, and you're like, what are they talking about? Let's say you're either new this year to RuneScape or you picked it back up again after years of not playing it. Leagues is like boosted XP rates. There are special relics that give you like perks and shit, kind of like how we talked about for Deadman mode. I think we talked a little bit about it in our original Leagues episode.
Yeah.
Before Leagues got delayed.
Titled, We're Sad That Leagues Got Moved.
Yeah. God, Michael's so good. He knows the names of these episodes off the top of his head. Go back and listen to that one. That's also when I committed to grinding the Inferno. It was like only 45 million episodes ago. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely recommend you play it. You get tasks for completing like dumb shit. Some of it is like kill a goblin, get base 5s, complete Cook's Assistant. Some of it is like equip Pegasian, Primordial, and Eternal Boots.
Big tasks.
Like just equip all that. Like that's a big task.
Yeah.
You know, equip
a fire cave.
Equip full Bandos or full Armadillo. Own all 4 God Swords. Like stuff like that were tasks. I'm really interested to see what they do with like all regions being unlocked. So this one works where you get points from doing tasks, but there's also Sage's Renown, which is like a different point system. I think. I don't know. And you use those points to unlock skills and bosses.
And no, not regions. Yeah. Skills and bosses.
No, the game's already fully open.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like in RS3 where you have to like activate the lodestones.
Yes.
So there's waystones at like a shitload of locations. All the main cities, Great Korend, Ferox Enclave, like all sorts of places you can just one-click teleport from. It'll be a bit of like a home teleport animation, so it's not like a house teleport or a seed pod, but you will have an animation and you will be able to teleport there as much as you want. There's no cooldown. So once it's unlocked, you can get anywhere, one tick, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see how you earn Sage's Renown. And this is, I guess, kind of where we get into the theory crafting bit of it. So you start the game, you hot drop into leagues, which I think the starting zone almost looks like it's somewhere in Candor,
Yeah.
not Lumbridge,
Yeah.
which is weird.
They were theory crafting. I was watching a video and the guy was like trying to narrow down all of the places that it could be. And he's like, okay, it's not in Zaya and it's not in Lumbridge because they've already said it's not going to be somewhere that we've already started. So he's like, where do you have all of these different, because the 3 skills that you have unlocked when you start are defense, thieving, and fishing.
Looking at my world map right now, you heard it here first. You drop by either the Legends Guild or by like Morgan's Castle by Catherby.
Yeah.
Like you drop along that coast by Sherlock.
Yeah.
Because you've
agree.
got fishing in Catherby, you've got thieving in Artie, and then you've got defense at various like combat places. It's a really random and a really fun place to start. Maybe we'll start like by the Tower of Life or something like that. Like just, I'm imagining it's an incredibly random spot.
Yeah, I don't think it's an established location. Like I think they're going to make, because from what I saw in the trailer video, it looks like they set up almost like a bunch of stones, and they have like the glow of the Shattered Relics League theme, and then you have the tutor there. So I don't think it's like an established location. I think it's going to be something where, like I said, they just put you up in the middle of the forest somewhere. And you're right.
I think I already figured it out. I was right because I pulled up the trailer. We'll link the trailer in the description, by the way. They're sending us right next to Catherby by where the beekeeper is.
Oh, fun.
At least that's where it looks like from the trailer.
Okay.
It could be a case of like, Keep LaFay is the name of Morgan's Castle, by the way. It could be a case of like there's multiple of these throughout the area, and the sage can be in various spots, like depending on the region. Almost kind of like the emblem trader or something of that. Like, not that it will move necessarily, more of like a quality of life thing. Like, I need to go talk to the sage. Thankfully, there's one in Zaya instead of having to go all the way back to Kandarin. But considering that we can teleport everywhere, I don't know if it matters.
What if there's multiple starting locations and you get to pick one as your starting location?
That would be fun.
Since they're just like random pop-ups of a bunch of stones, it's like these areas are they have everything you would need, because you can do thieving and fishing in Lumbridge. You can do the thieving and fishing near Catherby. So they would just like give you a bunch of starting locations. Again, all theory crafting. We know nothing is confirmed at this point.
Yeah.
But I think that would be an interesting way to strategize your account. And if you had to do it differently, you're like, okay, well, let's start out with maybe choosing a different starting location. But I don't know. I think I would honestly choose the Kandarin near Artie, near Catherby area, because there's a lot of things you can get started doing. Busting out the easy diary for Artie would be a great thing to start with. Arguably getting the rusty sword might be difficult if you're over there and you're not near Lumbridge, but you have to get to Lumbridge anyway.
You can get there, right? So it's not a matter of the region is locked to you. You can go anywhere in this one. If you've only played Trailblazer League, this league is different where you can access all of Gielinor, Fossil Island, Wilderness, Fremennik, Zaya. They said Nex is going to be in there, Isle of Souls, Apatol.
All of them.
It's all on the table. You can go everywhere, and you can presumably kill everything for a price. I have heard that the way that League points and Sage's round or whatever is going to work, you will be able to unlock all the content.
That's cool.
I don't think it's going to be a matter of like I have to pick and choose bosses. I think you'll just have to work to earn all the bosses.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, I would definitely still pick that spot in Catherby though, because you can pickpocket men in Catherby for 5 thieving, go to Artie for cake stalls, do cake stalls up until Silk, do Silk up until Ham members, and then do Ham members for the Rusty Sword, teleport back to Catherby, Artie Diary done, fish in Catherby, because I think you can catch shrimp in Catherby. And because it's 5 times multiplied, you can grind like hell for that.
It'd take like 2 minutes.
The Catherby area is a very interesting start location because for me, the Catherby start, right? That area start.
See what shirt I'm wearing, by the way?
Let's go, baby. He's got the Catherby shirt on. He's ready. So that starting location from the trailer leads to a lot of very good possibilities, and it almost kind of shapes the way to what I want to do, because for your 4th skill, you can pick an additional combat skill.
Yeah.
So attack, strength, range, mage. Whether or not prayer or hit points are included, I'm not sure. I would imagine they are.
Prayer might be an interesting one if it's available, just because early game prayer is insane. Like having the ability to have like overheads for different quests. Not to say that you can't unlock those other skills later, because you're going to be able to unlock skills, but having I don't know. Like having a combat stat does sound nice. Like having the ability to kill something if needed is nice. It's hard.
So your combat level will go up with defense, right? You'll be able to level up your combat. You'll be able to get better armor. I am going to work under the assumption that quests are not locked to XP you can't earn. So let's say you don't have cooking unlocked. You'll still get experience for doing Cook's Assistant. And if it's anything like the last league, quest XP is going to be multiplied by the multiplier.
It is.
Which I think is just a base times 5. I don't think they said anything about XP increasing with different relics.
We'll find out.
I'm not sure if that's true. I think it's just a times 5.
Yeah, we'll find out, because I have no idea.
So
I do know,
which I think is it sounds a little slow, because even in Deadman mode, they boosted it to like times 30 for combat stats or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I can't imagine it's going to stay at times 5, because the last league, you in some instances with certain, did they call them relics?
With every relic,
tier relic, yes.
With every tier of relic, you got a different XP drop. So it was like times 5, times 8, times 12, times 16, times 20 something. For example, I don't remember if those are the exact numbers.
I think it was times 16 was the top, but there were certain relics that you could unlock, like the double fishing one, that it gave you 2
endless
fish.
harvest, baby.
So effectively, fishing was times 32 XP, because it gives you double XP for every action, and then it was already like that. That to me doesn't sound like they would just revert back to a times 5, because even in league sense, times 5 is kind of slow.
So this kind of leads to another point of leagues that I want to save for later. There could be a set effect from the relics. So Shattered Relics, how it works, the story is the Sage is pissed about the relics that you had from Trailblazer. So the Sage broke them all into pieces. They shattered the relics. But that's how we get the name of the league. When you combine the relics together, they create like a special effect. I watched a We Skill Now video, and it was like it's one of the newest ones he has up as of Sunday. And his thing was they showcased an image with like 6 different fragments showcasing one relic. He kind of theorized that these 6 little shattered relic pieces were related to teleportation or magic. And then when you combine all 6 of them together, that's when you get this like super crazy teleport, last recall, fairy ring, eternal jeweler madness that we had in leagues too. Because the fragments that they're calling them, these fragments of the relics, are pretty underwhelming.
Yeah.
But I think the idea is to combine them in different ways to get a bunch of cool things. So I would bet, given A, how they can do whatever the hell they want in leagues, and B, how absolutely insane they went in Deadman mode with the sigils, that I would bet there are fragments or combinations of fragments that will allow for like nutty XP.
Yeah.
And they're all interchangeable. We'll talk about the fragments later. So, working under the assumption that quests give rewards for skills you cannot earn XP in naturally, and under the assumption that they are XP boosted, right? Starting in Catherby, Hot drops you into the most prime area for training combat skills in the entire game.
Waterfall quest,
Fight
Arena,
Tree Gnome Village, Fight Arena,
dude.
the Grand Tree. You don't need to pick attack and strength off the rip because those are covered with the 5 times
That's
bonus.
under the assumption though that like completing the quest will give you the XP, because they said you can still train the skill. Like you can still train woodcutting. It's not locked to you. It's just you're locked from getting the XP. So I don't know. I don't want to assume that completing a quest somehow subverts the locked mechanic that they have. Because then why wouldn't they just say, okay, all combat is unlocked to you? Why are they making you pick one to gain XP in?
Because you can buy quests to unlock them. So let's say you are one of those filthy PVMers who hates rune crafting, and you don't want to do Fremennik Exiles because it's one of the only quests in the game that has a rune crafting requirement. You could pay to have Fremennik Exiles finished without doing any rune crafting at all. But you don't get the XP rewards for unlocking it.
Gotcha.
So there's incentive to do the quest because they give you XP. By that logic, why the hell won't I just unlock all the quests if I'm not going to get XP for skills I haven't locked? Because questing, as we have said so many times on this show, is so important to early mid-game accounts. Questing is like the thing you have to do. And having players do not only a limited amount of skills, but with a limited amount of training methods, that sucks.
Yeah.
I would imagine quests give XP. But it's a sound point to think that they also might not.
We'll have to see.
I'm still going to work under the assumption that they do.
Oh, okay.
give the XP. Because if not, then it completely derails my plan.
Well, yeah, no, your plan is amazing. Like the fact that you could just get nearly, I don't know, maybe high 60s, 70s combat stats within maybe an hour of signing into the account. That's incredible. Like just throw in, the defense one as well. Like you're golden. 5 times XP.
Off the rack being like 70 attack. That is nuts. I don't think we'll get to 70. 70 is like almost 1 million XP. Like
True.
We're not going to get there, but we're going to get pretty damn close. Because if you look at all the XP rewards and multiply them all, we'll do the math at some point, but you can get hella attack levels in particular.
I mean,
with whatever.
Isn't Waterfall Quest just like 25k XP right off the bat? I'm pretty sure it's 25k. So then 5 times that is 125,000 attack XP for one quest. So that's already mid 50s from one
completion. Yeah, it's 52. That's 1 to 52 just from Waterfall Quest.
Okay. So then you think
right
you
there.
have 5 more quests that give
there's
XP?
There's Waterfall, there's Fight Arena, there's Tree Gnome Village, there's Grand Tree, but I think Grand Tree has some other requirements to it. There's those 4 that give pretty good combat XP super early.
It's not unheard of that people do Monkey Madness on low level accounts either.
Yeah, I was gonna say Monkey Madness doesn't have a whole lot of requirements either.
So you could probably get Monkey Madness done in the first day.
Bro, you could probably pay to get Monkey Madness done.
But if you pay,
think about it, if you're doing all these quests and you're getting all these tasks for getting all these levels and all this experience and all these quests done, in theory, you may be able to buy Monkey Madness and then have access to a Dragon Scimitar after just doing questing.
Yeah, but like, do you get the XP rewards if you pay for the quest?
You don't get the XP
Okay.
rewards, but you do get access to a dragon scimitar.
Yeah. It's a good. I mean,
without the potential of dying to a scorpion in the ground.
It's a good trade. Oh, thanks. I'll just sign out now, guys. They're very tough and small and hidden.
Log into your group Iron Man account.
Yeah, who do escape? Thanks. Yeah, who would do that? Gosh. Hardcore status revoked.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Michael was so happy. That was the happiest Michael's ever been to die in his entire life.
Low key though. Actually kind of
He didn't do it on purpose. He was so happy when he died.
It was like a relief that day to see their blue helmet rather than the red one. But we're getting off on a tangent, Oxie. We can't do that this episode, remember?
That's unheard of. We never get off on tangents. Anyways. So, with that said, that attack and strength are effectively covered, it limits your options to 4 combat skills, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Hit points, prayer, range, main. I don't see prayer being super useful.
Yeah.
Early.
Sure.
Because all 4 of the bosses from the quests I just listed off, if there are bosses at all, are all safe spottable.
Well, that's why you would want to choose probably magic. And I know I'm probably jumping ahead to your point, but you want to be able to kill the bosses that are in those quests to get the XP that you're talking about. And most of the time you use magic. I've used magic in almost all 4 of those quests to kill the main like quest bosses. Like in the fight arena, Trinome, you have the Black Demon.
Poor General Khazard is in Trinome, and then the Black Demons in
General
General Khazard or whatever his name is. Or no, the Khazard Warlord, that's who it is. Anyways, so Michael is right. He did jump ahead to the point, but I think magic is going to be the OP one to choose. Mm-hmm. With hit points as a second best. Because without the ability to train hit points, you're within one bang territory of like every monster that is worth killing.
Brother, I mean,
without hit points, XP, or overhead prayers,
listen,
you're an easy one shot for Slayer. You're an easy one shot. It's tough without overhead.
I'm gonna level with you. Whenever you make a brand new account, you generally stay 10 hit points anyway. So most people have probably done those quests at or around 10 HP with no overheads. Because on the main game, I did all 4 of them around, like I said, around 10 HP and 0 overheads. It's doable. You have to constantly be eating if you're going to do it. So I don't know that HP is the way to go. Seems like a waste.
But you don't have cooking.
Okay, so yes.
You can't cook food.
You have high hit points, right? But how are you going to kill them at a distance? You're not.
Exactly. That's why I don't know. We also don't know how much these skills are going to cost in Sage's Renown. So our other favorite RuneScape S game, Melvor Idol, they have an adventure mode where, from what I understand of it, you start with one skill and then you make money and buy all the other skills, and it goes up a little bit each skill you buy. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a system like that.
Yeah.
Where the first skill you have to buy is only like 1 Sage's Renown, so you can like 1 tick by cooking and then you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. You know, do like 2 tasks and you'll be good. I'm honestly not sure how that's going to work.
I was going to say, going back to our earlier point about magic, you don't necessarily need the best magic spells because you can do Wind Strike at level 1. So theoretically, you can hit like 3 or 4s with Wind Strike, I think. So it's doable.
Yeah, that is true. Wind Strike is a really low level magic spell. You really could.
It's better than 1 range, that's for sure. You hit nothing at 1 range.
Please don't pick range. I don't know who needs to hear this. Please don't pick range. How the hell are you going to get any weapons? How the hell are you going to get any ammunition? You can't woodcut. You can't flinch.
You can.
You only have defense levels, and you don't have access to killing a lot of monsters that drop good stuff. What are you going to do? kill Zulrah with a maple longbow and wind strike? I don't think so. Please don't pick range off the rip. I know you can fletch and woodcut, but if you don't earn XP, you can only make
arrow shafts.
like arrow shafts.
Yeah. Or the
you can make
arrows.
arrow shafts and like bronze arrows, which I'm not even sure you can do because you don't have smithing unlocked to make bronze arrow tips.
But no, I mean, shops are going to be available to you. You're an Iron Man, but you can still buy stuff from the shops. Like, there are arrow shops. If you can bust out 40 range and get to the ranging guild early enough with money, it's probably a viable option because they do sell arrowheads there. Not that you can fletch them.
All right. Can I make a counterpoint?
Of course.
Of course. What money?
Okay.
If there's one thing I've learned from Iron Man mode, it's Poor Man Simulator and Walkman Simulator. They've alleviated one of those things with the Waystones. It's still going to be Poor Man Simulator to start a new Iron Man.
Yeah, Catherby has an archery shop. Thank you, Scape.
So, like, what money?
What money? So, I want to get into at least one of the little fragments, and that is that Marks of Grace also spawn with GP. So, if you can unlock agility somewhat early, if it's one of the first couple skills that you spend your whatever money that was it the Sage's currency that we were saying that unlocks skills?
Yeah, so again, we could be wrong, we could be misunderstanding, but there's league points, which are how they score the high scores, like ranks and rewards and things like that. And then there's also, they said, you can unlock things with Sage's Renown. So if you watch the trailer, there's a little blurb where it has like Giant Mole, Temporos, all these other bosses for like 10 Sage's Renown, which that tells me like how much is a boss like Chambers of Zarek or Theater of Blood. And then how do you earn these Sage's Renown such that it's feasible?
Yeah.
Is it one of those like Temporos is 20 up from 10 or Temporos is 60 up from 10? And then Theater of Blood is like 1,000.
Yeah. Who knows?
Know, like how do we earn this renown?
Because hopefully
do we earn it from doing tasks. I don't know.
I'm hoping that the more that you unlock, the better it is that you'll earn the renown. For instance, if you spend your first 10 to get Obor or whatever the first couple ones were, probably don't do Obor because that would suck. But whatever the first
Obor really would suck, dude.
Whatever the first couple bosses are, you spend those 10, and then while you're doing that boss that you spent, it's a little bit easier to then garner that money, to get that money, that currency. We're calling it money, but like the points.
Yeah.
So then the second time you unlock a boss, it's a little bit easier now because the points are coming in, so and so forth, and then all the way up to, Chambers of Zarek. But back to my point, you can get Marks of Grace that will spawn with coins all the way up to 15k per Marks of Grace. I mean, at that point, you probably don't want, that's a bad point. You probably don't care about Graceful because I think everybody has unlimited run. But that's one way to do it. Which is
so exciting. Speaking of getting off on a tangent, remember a couple weeks ago and you're like, was it you who's like, I kind of hate that they add Graceful because that's all anybody wears?
Yeah.
People used to like run around in Fashionscape and shit. You're going to be able to do that in League.
Oh, it's so good.
You're going to be able to run around in whatever the hell you want and you're never going to have to worry about run energy. So Graceful is dead content in League. But unless there is a task to equip full Graceful.
Sure. But the Marks of Grace won't, because with that fragment, if you really do need the money, hopefully you got it early enough, you'll get some money with it. So I'm sure if they have something like that, if they have a relic or a fragment that's like that, there's got to be other fragments out there that are similar to do this, get this, and maybe one of them is cut a log and you'll have a chance to get coins with it or something. I don't know. Because I can't imagine that people are going to be bottlenecked by GP in a temporary game mode where the whole point is to go fast. Like, having money in the game is probably, especially for Iron Man, one of the hardest things to garner in this game, early game. And I'm sure that they've thought about a way to give you that quickly, such as giving you a fragment. Am I making sense?
Well,
I don't know.
You are making sense, but Leagues is so weird in how it works that sometimes it completely diverts from the norm of Iron Man mode or from normal RuneScape or whatever it is. When I did Leagues 2, I didn't have any fucking money. I was poor as dirt, as always. And I wanted my Dragon Scimitar. I made a Leagues 2 video where I'm like, I am poor and I have 60 attack, but I don't have 100k, and a Rune Axe is my best in slot weapon. I was doing Barrows runs to get a Barrows item to High Alch to buy my dragon or my Dragon Scimitar. I ended up stopped doing that, and I went to like fletching and I High Alched longbows.
Mhm.
The fact that a Rune Axe is my best in slot melee weapon and I'm doing Barrows
Yeah.
successfully like that, it's weird. Leagues is weird how it works.
Yeah.
So that's very, but it is very possible if they have something to like circumvent like the need for GP. I think
Yeah.
it would be really cool if they had a relic that was like 1 in 3 chance to earn anywhere from 1k to 10k when you get a resource, something like that. But here is a question. Do you know if they're giving us a fragment to start? Because unlike in the last 2 leagues, they haven't said anything about choosing a fragment to begin with.
Yeah. I don't know.
In the trailer for Leagues 2, they talk about the Production Master, Endless Harvest, and Skilling Prodigy relics as the first 3 relics you can choose from. This one, they're kind of like, find fragments wherever the you want. And it doesn't explicitly say that we get to pick one.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Which I think is great, because the randomness is going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be no one meta for the entire
Sure.
game.
And that's what they said.
Which is
Mod Flippy, you mentioned what's his name? We Skill Now?
We Skill Now.
He had an interview, I think he's going to post this week, with Mod Flippy, former Mod Flippy, who designed Leagues 1 and 2. And I think he had a hand in Leagues 3 before he left. But I think their whole idea with this league was that there's not one direct path that like everybody's going to follow. Because you just said it, like you find a relic, you find a shard of a relic, a fragment, wherever. Like you could be wood cutting and one pops into your inventory. And then that takes you on another path to find another fragment of that set. So then you could be on the same path as your friend. You could be on the same path as everybody else, but then suddenly your path is diverted, which is like the thing that I hated about the first couple leagues is, well, the only 2 leagues they had, is that it was so like the meta was pre-established before you even started. Like if you didn't pick the right starting location and the right relic and the right blah 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 blah, you just didn't have fun because it was so optimized for one specific or 1 or 2 specific metas. This one might be different.
And you're right. And the shitty thing about it isn't even that, like, you weren't having fun with the other relics. It's that you weren't having as much fun as other people.
Yeah.
There was nothing more satisfying than 1 kill Bandos trip. Where you teleported to your house, drank from your pool of drank, last recalled back to the door, killed Bandos, and just repeated it for hundreds of kills. With a 2-tick DDS or a 2-tick Dragon Scimitar. Bop, bop,
right,
bop, bop,
you had
as
2
fast
things.
as you could.
You had instances. They gave you instances. And you had the relic that gave you that like multiplied spec bar. So if you didn't pick that, then you're suddenly like, I can't go kill Bandos with my Sarah
The biggest
sword.
issue for that was the last recall.
Yes.
Last recall in Trailblazer League was so broken that it really dominated, and in that sense, kind of ruined Leagues 2. Which, please take that with a grain of salt. Leagues 2 is some of the most fun I've ever had in RuneScape. Like, I made close bonded friendships through Leagues 2. That's how much fun it was. I was so ready to quit this stupid game when Leagues 2 came out. It was nutty. And I just got completely re-energized playing it. Last Recall was such an OP relic that Eternal Jeweler was not good in comparison. And Eternal Jeweler was good.
Yeah.
Permanent teleports the minute you unlock it. If you got a Master Scroll book, get this. If you got a Master Scroll book, you could have one of every single scroll and have infinite teleports. If you chose Tyrannwyn and you got one Zalandra teleport, you could teleport to Zalandra infinite times.
Right. But you could also
That's awesome.
You could also just get a seed pod and do the same thing with last recall.
Exactly. You don't need to have a Zalandra teleport because you have last recall. Like, I don't know why they thought the fairy ring one would be a good idea. You're right. Some of them are pretty game breaking and meta defining. Yeah. And I'm very excited that the relics you're going to get or the fragments you're going to get are not necessarily going to be related to what you're doing.
Yeah.
I am fishing at Mount Quidamorton and I am fletching at Sears Village Bank. I could get a relic doing either one of these activities that are completely unrelated. I could get a relic that gives me a 2-tick, or not a relic, a fragment that gives me a 2-tick melee weapon or an increased melee accuracy thing. And now suddenly I should go train combat stats because I got this fragment. Or I got a relic for a different, or a fragment for a different skill. Or a fragment for like clue scroll hunting, where I have like increased clue RNG. Like there's a lot of like really cool possibilities of what could happen. You know, and it also could take a bossing trip. If you get a fragment from Skatizo or Vorkath, that's like, oh, extra woodcutting XP, go woodcut for a little while. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the possibilities are there. That's why I'm excited, because you mentioned like having last recall. If you didn't pick last recall in the last league, you just like, it wasn't the meta. It was the same way in the first one. If you didn't have endless endurance, because that was one that you had to start out with, it was the same thing. You picked the wrong starting relic.
And Zaya
is huge.
Huge.
So I'm hoping that they thought about this time, because if anything, they have a lot of data to look back on and say, okay, a lot of people picked this, a lot of people picked this, not a lot of people picked that, so maybe we steer away from things like that. You know, they just had a lot of data to analyze. They didn't have a lot of data, arguably, even in the second league. They had no data in the first league. So there's not a lot of room for a third time where you're going to get shafted if you pick the wrong something. But
and I think not only are they all RNG based, from what I understand, they're also interchangeable. So if you get like a last recall fragment, or if you get like an Eternal Jeweler fragment, you can swap them out for what you're doing.
Yes.
You know, these are not, which is another small point tangent. Fragments are not going to be super impressive because the relics are what's cool and the fragments are just pieces of relics.
The fragments make the set effect, which is technically the relic, right?
Yeah, it's kind of, from what we understand, akin to the Angler outfit, where each piece gives a little bit of bonus XP, but the full set gives the most XP.
Mm-hmm.
It's that example of like, you need all the pieces of this relic, all these fragments, to make the cool thing you want.
Yeah.
I am very excited. Another thing they have added to this league, so in Trailblazer, they learned from Twisted League that if you didn't pick the Infinite Run relic, you hated the game. They just gave everyone Infinite Run.
Yeah, they did that in Trailblazer too. Oh, you said that.
They did that. Yeah, they did that in Trailblazer. They're doing that for Shattered Relics. But interestingly, you would think that because Last Recall was so popular, they would give everyone the Orb of Returning. They didn't. They actually went with what happened in the Tier 4 relic. So for those of you who didn't play Trailblazer League, in Tier 4 or Tier 5 or whatever it was, you had 3 options you had, it was like unnatural selection, clue hunter, and then an extra bag. Well, the extra bag got cut. The extra inventory got completely deleted because it didn't work. So you chose between Slayer or clues. The clue relic let the clues be stackable, and the Slayer relic, it was like a 1 in 25 for a superior monster, and superior monsters always dropped clues. So superior, like I had like 3 imbued hearts on Trailblazer because I killed so many superior monsters. And that became an issue for the clue hunters because they didn't lock the regions that you had for clues.
Yeah. Which was so
there was a period of
dumb.
time in Trailblazer League where you were getting like Zaya steps that you couldn't even go to Zaya. You know, if you didn't have Fremenink unlocked, you just had to drop the clue.
Yeah.
And it became a huge controversy because everyone who picked this Clue Hunter relic, which was OP as shit in Twisted League, because that was the only way you got Rune. That was the only way you got God D'hide. That was the only way you got a lot of like dragon equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no real way to get that on Zaya outside of these clues. Was shafted because if you pick the Slayer relic, you got a lot of clues anyway, and you got to choose your Slayer task.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so nice.
Like you got the benefit of both. And whereas if you picked the clue one, yeah, you got a ton of clues, but you don't have the benefits. Like it just
you couldn't even
very
do them
unbalanced.
all.
Yeah, very unbalanced.
You couldn't even do them all. You stack up 100 hard clues, you'd be able to do 40 of them because they have steps in other regions. Like, so and for this league, they have made all clues that you have not started stackable.
Beautiful.
So you'll get them in clue boxes or like clue scroll cases. So you can have like a stack of unfinished hard clues and then just do one clue after another. So you can do, I can't wait to see someone do like 1,000 master clue openings.
Ooh.
Or like 10,000 hard clue openings in one video in League. It's like, that's going to be so cool to look at.
Yeah. Here's a hot take. I think you should be able to stack clues in the main game, but just not open more than one.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd love or hate that at this point. I mean, Mega Rare is still Mega Rare, and it's not like the drop rates of clue scrolls are so insane that you would just get like millions at a time. It's not a guaranteed drop from anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would imagine the only issue comes in,
but it would cap. Like it would cap though. Like you would have 10 or 25. Like you can't just stack up thousands of clues in your bank. I'm saying it would just more than one at a time is probably not
What
OP.
do you do about Watson?
What do you mean?
That's my question.
I mean, he would still just take one.
Well, he will take one, but is it possible then to give him another set?
Yeah,
of the unopened clues,
you can still
give you stackable masters.
Right, you can still get up to a certain amount, and once you hit that cap, it's not OP. It's not that OP at least.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad. I think it has some kinks to work out, but I definitely don't see it as like this game-breaking horrible thing. Will it pass? Probably not ever, but I don't think it would be a detriment to RuneScape at all if we could stack clues. RS3 lets you stack clues, and they have clue rewards that are billions of GP. Right.
And they buffed rewards with divination. I think it's divination. One where you can get just like make components out of
I saw rewards. A clip of somebody, he opened a master clue scroll or something like that, and he lost his mind because he's like the 3rd player in the world to have like the golden clue chaser title in RS3. Because the idea, it's like, I think it's like complete the mega rare table completion log or something.
Gosh.
It's something like that, and he got like 2nd age plate legs and lost his mind. And it was so cool to watch. He's like, 3rd person in the world. I'm the 3rd person in the world to have this title.
That's cool.
Like it was so cool to watch because Clue Scroll Mega Rares are ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't like titles. Like if they brought that to Old School, I would want that to be toggleable because it clutters up the chat box. But on the flip side of that, I think it is cool because it's kind of like a public way to have high scores in a sense. Like if you were top page of something, that you would have a special title for that. Like kind of how we have roles in our Discord. You would have like, Master Hunter or something if you were top page or if you had 200 million hunter XP.
I think titles would be really cool. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff you could do. The first, and this is gonna be a surprise to you. This is the first one that comes to mind. Maybe at like 10 Inferno KC, you'll get the Tuzkal roll.
Yeah.
And you could just have Tuzkal dash your player name.
That'd be cool.
As like a title.
Yeah.
50 Jad KC, you get Tuztalk dash, TNL Jaddy or something like that.
Really neat.
Which, okay, that's a super cool. If there was a Tuztalk thing and I could just cut the TNL and have Tuztalk Jaddy, oh, that's a good name right there. That's a good name.
Certain names would become more popular, I think, with the addition of some sort of title in front of it.
Like I imagine, in RS3, I read in my little book in 2017, they effectively released Nex hard mode. It was Nex Angel of Death. The name Nex probably would be billions of GP if they introduced that title.
Yes.
If you could be Nex Angel of Death because you got like the Nex completion log. I think that's the thing in RS3. You complete the collection log and you get the title.
That's cool.
So it'll be like, Bloodhound the Zamorakian because you got all the Zamorak Krill Sataroth collection log slots. It's pretty neat. So I am a whore for untradeable flexes and cosmetics. So I think it would be cool, but you're right. It really would make the chat box a disaster.
Yeah, because I log into RS3 right now and I'm just confused. I'm like, who is talking, and what are they saying, and what does this mean? But you get used to it. But again, it would just old school is old school for a reason.
It would be a bit of a culture shock at first.
Yes, it would.
And I think it would be almost better suited as like a player-owned house achievement thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you have like the quest log scroll? Mm-hmm. Like put a scroll in your achievement gallery that's like titles you've earned.
That's cool.
So you can have Angel of Death, Tuzkal, Tuztalk, and then when someone clicks on it, you'll have all your titles on there of whatever. Because they have that for clues. They have like Master Clue Hunter when you get like 1,000 clues or something like that. I don't know. Speaking of getting back on topic, leagues is gonna be a hoot. I am stoked. One of my goals that we talked about last week, kind of, and that I've mentioned in the Discord quite a bit, is I want to get Rune Cup again.
Yeah,
I'd like a Rune Cup to match my Rune Cup. Dragon Cup is ideal, of course, but at the same time, Dragon Cup is a commitment. I think like Rune Cup in the last league was like 37,000 points. Dragon Cup was like 56K. Like, you had to do pretty much everything available to you to get Dragon Cup.
Wow.
It was a nutty.
Yeah. Oof.
And again, competitive RuneScape is a challenge for me. I don't love competitive RuneScape.
You just got to look at it as you're competing with yourself, not anybody else. Just beat your last score of the last league, and you probably can make it.
Honestly, not even a bad shot. Although, will that be easier or harder? Because now that we have the whole world open to us, we haven't even talked about tasks.
Oh,
yeah. I think the last one, it was like easy, medium, hard, elite, master tasks. They were locked to various regions. So, you had complete Cook's Assistant, equip a Dragon Full Helm, equip a Fire Cape,
Dragon Full Helm,
fletch a Tanzanite Fang.
Just saying.
Like,
terrible task.
It was... Well, they also had boosted RNG, so the Dragon Full Helm was like a 1K drop at some point, like in Trailblazer. It wasn't easy to obtain, but the boosted drop rates were nice. Which, okay, tasks aside, are drop rates boosted?
It's a great question. I don't think they've covered it.
Are there going to be fragments to create relics to boost drop rates? Because I ain't got weeks to grind Bandos.
Yeah.
I only have like 6 weeks of Elite. So are we going to be meta defining in a way where you have to pick the ones that give you good RNG, effectively forcing you to do Bandos normally because you have to create all the fragments to get the chance of like a 1 in 10 drop from Bandos instead of the 1 in 128 for any piece? Godsword Hilt is 1 in like 512. like that is
It's a
steep.
lot of kills.
You know, that's a lot of kills on an Iron Man account with probably scuffed gear for a little while. You know, there's a lot of questions like that if drop rates aren't boosted, what are we doing?
They have to. I think
You
it goes
know?
along the same lines of like you need XP to be boosted, you need some way to get money. And with that, if they don't want to make this like Burnout Central, they'll just find a way to give you boosted XP rate or boosted drop rates as well. Because they did it in the last league. And something that is sort of a pattern that I'm seeing is the stuff that was special in the last league has just been ported in as okay, this is for everyone now. And I'm pretty sure they're going to find a way to make Last Recall more accessible, unless I'm wrong. Like again with Endless Endurance, it's just a standard thing now, and there's got to be stuff from Trailblazer that will just be standard things in this one. So I don't think you have to worry about it. I really don't. I think drop rates are going to be also boosted. They haven't talked about it as of the day of recording, but
I'm really hoping there's a way to get drop rates consistently boosted. So in Trailblazer, I think once you got a combat relic, so it was like tier 1, tier 3, tier 5, or tier 6 or whatever it was, the drop rates went up pretty substantially to the point where like Dragon Defenders were super. It was like 1 in 30 to get a Dragon Defender. It was very easy to get drops. Draconic Visage was an example. They became like a 1 in 500 drop rate or something crazy. Whips were like 1 in 50. Like it was very nice.
Yeah.
And it felt good because everybody who plays this game loves that dopamine rush, as we say, of getting a big drop.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know, go watch my leagues videos.
Here's something I didn't consider until just now. Are we going to get flooded in the CC with like, so-and-so got this, so-and-so got a whip, so-and-so got a whip?
Yo, we might have to turn valuable drops off.
Or just make it where like you're super rares. Like if you get a Torva full helm damaged, you're getting a shout out for it, like 100 mil plus. We'll have to see. We'll monitor it.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's so tough because like I want to be able to flex my league gains as well. Like if I get the item I want, if I get my Hydra Claw, or if I get, my Scythe or something from league. How cool it'd be to have Tebow in leagues. Or if I get a pet. I want that to be broadcasted, but holy shit. That could lead to a lot of spam depending on what the drop rates are.
Yeah.
I think in the last league I had like 4 BCPs, 4 pairs of tacits. So I was going for my BGS, like I had like 7 Zamorakian spears.
Yeah, that's a lot of
because I so badly needed a staff.
A lot of notifications.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I'm not sure.
I just don't want that I don't want it to get like desensitized by holy crap, this person got such and such item, and people stop with the GZs and the hey, that's great money or congratulations. But
yeah, because main game we have our clan set to 1 mil. Escape just suggested set it to 5 mil, so it won't be too bad.
I think maybe
the unfortunate part of that is then everyone in the main game who gets a drop, it no longer shows up. Like some things aren't super exciting. You get an Abyssal Whip on task, cool. That's free money.
Yeah.
Like everyone's gonna shoot you a GZ. Another thing we also have to consider is level ups.
Oh.
Like, is there gonna be a way to filter quests and level ups from because in Trailblazer League, you didn't get like, how it pops up in your chat box, like your fishing is now level 69 or something like that. That didn't proc till like level 30.
Yeah.
In Trailblazer because the low levels were so quick. I really don't want that to be a thing because people are gonna fly through levels. I did like in Leagues 2, I mined Day Alt Essence. I got like 17 rune crafting levels in like 2 hours at ZMI with last recall. Like that. I also got the pet, which made me shit myself. So I'm gonna be walking around with my Rift Guardian on day 1, which also pets carry over to all the other leagues. So I have Rocky and my Rift Guardian in leagues because I'm a pet spoon. Are you playing mains in leagues? Scape asked a good question, Michael. Do you plan on playing your main or your groupie in leagues?
I don't know. If I play at all, wink, wink, I'll probably play my main account. No real reason to play an Iron Man. I don't know. I'm not like totally. What's the phrase? I'm not like totally bought in to the idea of my group Iron Man. I am. Like, it's my Iron Man account. I still have another Iron account. It's called Iron Hound. But I'll never quit my main account. So to have that kind of stuff on my main account is kind of where I want it. The trophies, the pets, all of that.
But you also have an account to max.
Yeah, don't remind me.
So I have suggested, and I will suggest again, and this is not just advice for you, Michael. This is advice for everyone who might want to play. If you're worried about your progress in the main game, why not play on the groupie, or on the iron, or on the hardcore, on the UIM? So then you could multi-log and keep your main logged in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been doing this AFK skilling since like week 1 of XP waste. It doesn't take a lot of effort to click on something. You know, you can barb fish for fishing and agility XP while you're actually enjoying the game on leagues. You know, and again, this isn't a call out post for Michael, this is anyone. So if you're unaware, in leagues, you will sign into the account you have. You don't need to create a fresh account. So let's say I log in on TNL Jaddy, my username will be TNL Jaddy.
Mm-hmm.
And I will create a character, I'll do like the cosmetic thing, and I'll make my character look how I want it to, and that's TNL Jaddy on a leagues world.
Yeah, as long as you have
the
membership.
If I hop from a leagues world to a normal world, I will be right back where I left off, which is realistically going to be bank standing. In a normal world at the Grand Exchange. Maybe I'll log out outside the Inferno so I know why I have to come back. But yeah, I don't know. You can play multiple accounts, or you can't play your same account on multiple worlds.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's like,
so if there is a concern that like I really want to get this 99, or like I really want to keep doing this, but I don't, like I want to play leagues. You can play leagues on a different account. You know, I'm sure a lot of you have second accounts or can make a second account. I might hop on the groupie and the main on leagues just so I can get some rewards for the groupie on
sure. Because having the untradeable, having the stuff that you can only get from a league shop with league points, if you're an Iron Man, is somewhat appealing. That's the word. Because I really like the Trailblazer weapon or the Trailblazer toolkit ornament kits. I have them on my main account. It'd be cool. Have that on the group Iron Man. Not to say that you can't play 2 league accounts at the same time.
This is true.
But there's main game content to get done here.
There is main game content to get done. Again, like I said, I do want the diary cape, so it's very possible that I could do Jaddy for a little while. Yeah, I'm not sure. I will almost certainly play I will play the shit out of leagues on my main, because I don't know, I like the cosmetics. Mm-hmm. I've said it before. The elite void melee looks so cool. Yeah. That Mandalorian helmet looking thing, I'm gonna look so good at Theater of Blood. Really cool. Because I still wear elite void to Theater of Blood. What are you gonna do about it?
It looks cool, man. I don't know, Oxie. We've been recording this part for almost
a while.
hour and 40 minutes.
we have been going for quite a while. So what do we what do we think it's time that we go to break?
Yeah.
Sound good?
Any last thoughts? I will say that.
Leagues is going to be lit. Just like I said with Deadman mode, and I will say it again with Leagues. If you have never played Leagues, sign in day release. Be a lasagna degenerate and wake up with us at 5 o'clock in the morning because I will be in VC when it drops. I have to go to work, but I will be in VC at about 6 o'clock in the morning Eastern time on the 19th. Being in, like, getting ready for Leagues. It is so fun. It's so exciting, right? Play Leagues with your boys, whether it's the TNL boys, the boys from your clan, whoever. And as we all know, boys, B-O-I-S, is a gender-neutral term. Anyone can be one of the boys. It's a hoot. Play Leagues if you've never played. If you've played it and you're getting back for Trailblazer or Shattered Relics, get hype. Leagues is back, baby.
Next week.
Related to the podcast, there will be a new ad. Not this week, because I'm editing this week, but next week. We may or may not have gotten an ad suggestion from somebody in the recording booth.
Ooh.
And I may or may not have kind of soft scripted it already.
Very nice.
So it's not going to be this week, but it will be next week when I have more time editing-wise to do all the business. So
cool.
Hold me to that. Damn it. I want to give you guys new ad content because you haven't had a new ad since Evil Dave. And you deserve better than that from us.
Yes.
With that, enjoy this recycled ad. We'll see you guys after the...
Are you tired of your boring old routine of constantly gathering and banking all day just to do it all again the next? Are you ready to test the strength of both your body and your mind? If so, then an opportunity of a lifetime awaits you. My name is Certification, and I represent the White Knights of Falador. We need the best and brightest recruits to help us protect not only Asgarnia, but all of Gielinor. For the bravest and boldest, a position as proselyte may be in order, thanks to a rather ridiculous loophole. One can simply join the proselyte order, assuming you're willing to risk life and limb in a very dangerous mission that will be primarily espionage and combat, and travel to dangerous locations. But what you may sacrifice will all be worth it to say you are a member of the elite proselyte unit. When you're ready to begin your life of service, honor, and dignity, venture to Falador Park and enlist in the White Knights. And all that business about permanently cutting off your penis to join is completely idiotic. The White Knights of Falador will compensate you for the magical reversal of your genitalia.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial because I know I sure did. This is the point in the show where we shout out our Patreons. Even over my cat
Patreons.
Shouting in the background, we are still... Shut up. This is where we shout out our patrons. I just wanted to see if Michael was paying attention.
I am.
B is yelling at me too. She's saying they're not called Patreons. They're called patrons. We're shouting out our patrons. And we're 44 weeks in. I'm so good at this. So, as always, starting with the wise old men tier, we have Jordy, Mac Ratinka Jones, Monkey Waffle, Mr. Darkside 76, 999, 999, Pooper Cheeks, Russ of Fury, Salted Snake, Shadowblade, Scape Caution, Elagio, Bolimer, Basket, Benjamin R, Captain Clunk, Morty, Drum TXT, Ice Wallow, Jake W, and Troll. In the KBD tier, we have my dad, who I think we have to start shouting out in the extra episodes because he only listens to the extra episodes. He does not listen to any main title content. Fun fact. Cookies and Milf, Evan B, Hydraulic Monkey, Kroll, the Lord Jake himself, P-Joint, Spartan Fire, and unfortunately, he's changed his in-game name to Oxie's Left Nut, Hakuna Matata. Special shout out to him, who's currently on the front page of the next high school.
Huge shout out.
Which is absolutely insane.
At the time of recording, rank 13 with 1,500 KC.
Disgusting.
If you get COVID, you might just get on top page of the high school.
Honest to God, I feel bad for him because he has COVID. But holy shit, dude, I'm so impressed by that high score. That's fantastic. So, in addition to the patrons, as I've heard they're called, we are going to start a new segment that Michael and I are still working on how we're going to get the content for it. But we figured we want to do it. So, we have a lot of people in Discord. The Discord's growing every day, and we're getting to the stage at Discord where you guys are starting to do content on your own without any of the mods or the old timers or anybody sort of prompting you to do it. And that's awesome. And we're really proud of that. We're really happy for that. So, Mike and I want to introduce our new Achievement of the Week segment. It's a tiny little bit where we shout somebody or some group of people out who have done something awesome. Have we figured out the requirements? No. Have we figured out how you're going to submit them? Also, no. Have we figured out how many we're going to do per week? You'll never believe this. No. But for this very first Achievement of the Week, we are shouting out Knocked Wraith, Archimedes, Apparent Air, Tiger PM, and Ulitka, or Luke. Those are their Discord names. The 5 of these boys squatted up on Saturday and cranked out their fighter torso in like one sitting. There's a pretty sick clan picture of all of them lined up at Barbarian Assault with their fighter torsos on. Hell yeah for the best in slot melee chest upgrade. It's an awkward time that it came out right after, or Torva came out like 2 days prior. You don't gotta worry about Torva for such a long time. You can use that chest literally everywhere in the game.
Yeah.
From Giant Mole to Verzik, you can use the fighter torso literally everywhere. So, congratulations to the 5 of them.
Huge.
If you have achievements, post them in the Levels and Achievements channel of our Discord, or email us specifically at xpwastepod@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is that
That's our email?
God, I'm so good at this promoting.
It's in the description if you can't remember that. Like if
I have checked the email once since probably March. So shout out to Michael for hard carrying our email correspondence.
Yeah. That's fine. I can continue to do that.
He's like,
no, it's fine.
I can't
It's
stand him.
fine.
I can't stand him.
It's
I
fine.
can't stand
It's
him.
fine.
Fine.
We really look forward to your achievements. It can be anything. Like whatever you would, because like we've said it last week. We want to know what your goals are. We not only want to know what your goals are, but we want to celebrate when you hit those goals too. So this comes full circle with not only getting goals on paper, but letting us know when stuff happens. That's the whole reason we're doing this. So however you see fit, whether you're part of TNL or not, we want to know. Definitely want to know.
And as we've said, we don't know our exact criteria because, as we said in the past, people's goals and their achievements look a lot different. You know, Michael's max cape and my infernal cape are going to look different to different people, what they value more. So whenever we get what we want, the achievement might look different. So we're going to figure out what to shout out.
Don't know how it's going to look.
Maybe a PVM and a skilling. Like one PVM, one skilling, and like skilling and questing related.
Sure.
Or like achievement diary or something. And then for PVM, it can be like combat achievements or kill count or drops or something like that.
Listen, achievement is an achievement. If it's your first whip and you've never had a whip in Old School RuneScape, hell yeah, that's an achievement. You know?
Bruh, I was so excited to get my first whip. I'll shout out a mother gets their first epistle whip.
This isn't we're not trying to gatekeep what we think an achievement is, but send it off and maybe we'll give you the shout out. It's not a guarantee. Listen, it's not a guarantee. If we get 500 emails this week of crazy people doing crazy things, we may only get to do 1 or 2. So I'm sorry, but if we get a huge backlog, it's not going to happen. But if we get a huge backlog of an achievements, if we don't shout it out in an episode, we may not. So just disclaimer on that.
Achievements aside, we have an achievement of our own we'd like to share, and it's called remembering that we have a community question before the end of the episode. Michael,
yes,
I'm going to send it over to you,
Hell
baby.
yeah.
What do we got?
So last week we asked you guys, what are your goals for 2022? This is in the community section on Spotify, and we have a pinned comment on YouTube as well that I'm going to pull up. All right, so we have the community section over on Spotify, and we have the pinned comment on YouTube. So we asked you guys last week, what are your goals for 2022? Michael H., big shout out to you. Their goal for 2022 is to have us bring back Spotify video. Week 2 of them asking for that, but I'm sorry to say, if you've made it this far in the episode, Michael, it's probably not going to happen for at least a little while. So keep holding on to the dream, but it's probably not going to happen for a while.
If it comes back, bet your sweet ass you're going to be the first person we tell about.
Hell yeah.
That's not even ironic. We will find a way to contact you, and we will tell you long in advance when video podcasts are
Salted Snake, they want to say that they have to stop being a big baby and use the IBAN staff against their will to get some Barrows items. Please make them do it. That is their goal for this year, to get some Barrows items.
Hey, Salted Snake, if you're listening, look me in the eyes. Stop being a bitch and use your IBAN staff. All right, go back to it. I love you, Salted Snake. He provided the fun question for this week.
Yeah. Holy Druid,
Please.
Their goal is to, since I never got a Fire Cape last year, it will be my goal for 2022 and also the Quest Cape. Lots of Fire Capes and Quest Capes. Sir Piggy also wants that. Seymour wants their Quest Cape and the Mole Pet. Matthew E wants a Quest Cape. Adam C also wants a Quest Cape. Wow. Boys, Quest Capes in 2022.
Is this how Santa Claus feels when a new iPhone comes out? My God.
Adam C also said they want Hard Diaries and the Fire Cape for mid-game blossoming Iron Man. Oh, for their Iron Man. And finally, Elagio, shout out to them for the last week's fun question. Achievement Diary Cape, 99 range and strength, more PVM like God Wars and Nex. So that was on Spotify. Quickly running through on YouTube. I love this one. Ready? Kyle R says they want to finally clap Jad's cheeks.
Let's go, baby.
And get the Quest
We
Cape.
love first Fire
and
Capes.
and their Quest Cape. Sim RTA said Diary Cape. Jordy, Quest Cape, Hard Diaries, and having fun, of course. Love that, dude. Like, make it a goal in this game to have fun, because it's very, very easy to get in a rut of just clicky, skilly, killy, like all the stuff we do. So have fun. Pennywise, last one. Pennywise, working on getting my trimmed diary cape. Already have 3 elite diaries and the rest done up to hard. They say their main problem is agility, and main problem is going to be rich and agility, mainly because I'd rather eat my hand than run laps. I feel that on a spiritual level. I'm running laps and I'd rather not. So thank you guys so much for participating in the community questions. I think fittingly, in theme with this episode, a community question that will be posted for next week is, are you excited about Shattered Relics League? And if so, what is your strat? So go into the community section.
That's a good question.
Or the pinned comment on YouTube and let us know, are you excited and what is going to be your strategy for this league? Oxie, we're done with the communities section.
That was a good community question. Gotta level with you guys. The first Quest Cape and the first Fire Cape. I love hearing that so much. I got my first Fire Cape like 2 weeks before my first Quest Cape. It was in July of
2020.
I think it was July. Yeah, it was July of 2020. And I struggled for my first fire cape a lot, and then I got my quest cape at like 2 o'clock in the morning on my birthday. So it had turned the day to my birthday, and I finished Song of the Elves on my birthday and got my quest cape like in the wee hours of my birthday, which was pretty fun and exciting for me to have that done. That was a good time. Yeah, they're very nice concurrent goals to have.
Because once you do that, there's so much content. So much content is unlocked for you. Not that the fire cape unlocks that much content. Like you have your best in slot cape for a while, but like quest cape, you're unlocking the game, baby. Unlocking the game. It is time now for what we like to call the fun question, because by golly, it is fun. And this one goes out to Salted Snake, like we just said earlier. He provided us...
Who's not a bitch, by the way.
No. Salted Snake provided us a question. If you are in a TNL, if you're in our clan, occasionally, mostly every week, we're going to be posting in there. We're going to be posting in there asking...
He said occasionally, every week.
We will likely ask you what you think would be a good idea for a fun question. So if you're in the game, oh man, if you're in the game and playing and in the CC whenever we ask, you may get featured in an episode with your fun question. So this week, they want to know, what pet do you think would be the easiest to live with IRL? We're going to take it a step further, and we're going to go, what pet would be the easiest to live with and also the hardest to live with? Oxie, I think you have started thinking about it, so I'm going to let you go first because I have no idea.
I have started thinking about it. So the cop-out answer, and not the answer I'm going to choose, a cat is the easiest answer to live with, even though the death runes that I have in my house right now screamed outside my door, ran in here, took a huge shit, and has been off the chain for about 10 minutes. So I might have to take the bitch to West Darty at this point. I love her more than anything in the entire world. I would never do that, but I'm not going to answer a cat because that's too easy.
Is a cat really a pet, though? Because like we have to define what a pet is, and it's very easy.
Yeah, we're assuming like a drop, like a pet drop. Yeah. So if we go to the collection pog here, and we go to the all pets tab, we can get an idea of who everything is. We can also go to the all pets. They're there. So unfortunately, the easiest pets to live with are going to be the skilling pets.
Oh, of course.
I think the chinchompa would be pretty easy to live with.
Have you ever seen what like an actual chinchilla is like in real life?
Yeah. One of my friend's little sisters had a chinchilla when we were growing up.
I feel like they're just...
And I thought they were fake. I thought chinchillas weren't real.
Okay.
And then I saw one in real life and was like, oh my god. I'm like that little girl who thought bats were made up for Halloween and then freaked out when she realized bats were kind of like a zombie or a werewolf or something. But like as far as like easy boss pets to live with, the giant mole. Like that's an easy, like I feel like that would be, there'd be holes in your carpet. That might be a disaster.
Yeah.
Depending on how docile it is, Young Liff might be chill.
Yeah, it is pretty docile, I think. You have the pet, right? I do want to point out, Darkside, in our recording booth chat, Mr. Darkside76 did say the Bloodhound is a cop-out answer, which it is. I will not be saying Bloodhound pet because it's very easy to live with.
I didn't say it either because I knew, I'm like, Michael's probably going to take that one.
It's very easy. So that's off the table. Continue, Oxie. I'm sorry.
So as far as easiest pets, I think I would go with Chinchompa or Young Liff would be my easiest one. The hardest ones to live with, first of all, Nightmare. I don't think I could ever get a good night's sleep ever with Nightmare. And I have the Nightmare pet. She's ugly as sin. I can't imagine just like waking up to her being like, like staring over me,
it's just like,
giving me nightmares.
Like hunched over and gyrating and screeching.
Yeah. Do you want food? Would you like something to eat? She goes click, 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 click.
Breathing?
No, I'm good. No thanks. It also feels it's weird. I don't like that at all.
No.
The other answer that's less disturbing and more memey, bandos. I think I would pluck my eardrums out with a cocktail fork if I had to listen to
Yeah.
every single time it moved around the house.
I don't know.
Crackhead Jones out there has a bell. I can't imagine what it's like with furious like bass drum stomping everywhere we go. I don't. Those are my best and worst. What about you, Michael?
So, best, easiest pet would probably be Little Creator.
Really?
Yeah. Thinking about the NPC, right? Is it one modeled after like creation and then destruction? You think the creator, like the Little Creator, he'd just be like peace and love and hippie style. And he's like, yeah, man, can I just
Dude, he probably
take a rip of your bong, bro? If you metamorphosize him to little destruction or whatever, I don't know what it's called, but like destruction on the flip side could be the best and worst pet to live with all in the same pet. But something small.
The old 2 for 1.
Yeah, old 2 for 1. If it wasn't Little Creator, it would have to be something small. And I don't know, Chompy Chick, so cute. Arguably not really a pet because it's a guarantee at some point. No pets are ever a guarantee unless you're 200 mil. And then it's like insanely just like drop rates are insane. But Chompy Chick, to me, is on the same spectrum as like a cat. You just, once you finish the Elite Diary, it's there for you to take. So Chompy Chick is kind of a cop-out answer, but if I'm talking like pets that I would want and that are easy, Tangleroot. Homeboy, just, he's so chill. Chill AF. He doesn't have anything spiky on him. He's just a tree, and he walks around. What, like, you just need to water him at that point.
Bro, I didn't even think about Tangleroot. That'd actually be such a
I
good
would love
pet
it.
to live with.
Yes, and then as far as ones that are difficult, any of the boss pets, in my opinion, are difficult. You went God Wars, and I was thinking also God Wars. The Armadillo pet, Kriara, whatever that is called, the flapping of the wings, man. Like nothing on your tables
It's awful.
would be safe unless it's like paperweighted down. He's just like, ooh, ooh. Well, can you flap less in my house, please?
Yeah, perch, mother.
Perch. You have legs, right? Walk around.
And all right, here's the weird part about the God Wars bosses, particularly Kriara. In RS3, Kriara is like sentient. Like you have conversations with Kriara for various quests. That's not the case in OSRS. Kriara, I think, is one of the only bosses that doesn't have lines of dialogue
For the pet?
while you're fighting in God Wars. No, the pet has dialogue. Okay. All pets have dialogue. But I don't think during the fight it says anything other than like scraw. So as far as Kriara is concerned, it's just this like emu-sized monster that's hovering over your bed like this all day long. Kriara would be horrible.
I gotta think too, the Phoenix pet would just light things on fire because it's literally on fire. So that might be a hard one.
That'd be a pretty sick party trick though.
Just pop it out.
Be like, guys, I don't think my pet's feeling very good. What's gonna happen? You invite a stranger over, bursts into flames in the living room.
I don't know.
And the stranger like ah! You gotta freak out for a little bit too, and then be like, gotcha, bitch, and then pull a little chick out. Like that'd be so cute.
Would it function as a real phoenix though? Like where it just burns up and then you have a baby all the time? You're just like constantly life cycling through this phoenix. That's a lot of work.
Oh, that's a pet that you can carry with you your entire life. Now I'm gonna get sad. Oh, we gotta pick a different pet, or I'm just gonna get sad.
Yeah, dude. On spectrum of like absolute worst, you already said it, but yeah, nightmare. I just can't. Nightmare pet.
We do have some honorable mentions. Okay. So unfortunately, Salted Snake, there's not a lot of great pets to live with. A lot of them would suck. But we do have a few easiest pets to live with. Some honorable mentions. Skate brought up Bloat. The Dusted Zick Pestilent Bloat pet. That would be a stinky, disgusting mess. Any pet that is relatively close to a bug, no
Yep.
thanks. I love Venonators. I don't need that bitch perched up in the corner of my bedroom staring at me every single day. No thanks. I'm good. And then, oh man, I had one more. I lied. I had one more. There's gonna be one more. Oh, Tiny Temper.
Yeah.
Never having a dry
Oh my
floor again.
gosh.
Tiny
Same
Temper
with
would soak the
Kraken.
carpets and just ruin it.
Kraken and Tiny Temper. Although,
God.
I want to say another honorable mention. If you do get the Chompy Chick pet, you can cosplay that as Sarachnis pet because it's literally the same character model in game. They just flipped up a Chompy bird upside down, gave it legs, and called it Sarachnis. If you don't believe me, look on the wiki.
The parasites at Nightmare
Really?
are Vespula with Nightmare's
Are
head.
you kidding me?
No, the parasites at Nightmare are Vespula's model from Chambers of Xeric with Nightmare's head attached to him. So seriously. So Old School RuneScape reuses assets a lot. It's a big thing they do. They generally have very limited time and resources to like make new stuff.
That's hilarious.
So whenever they can quote unquote cut corners, they'll do it. So they had to create this whole new area of sleep and the Sisterhood Sanctuary. Let's save a little bit of money and just make the parasites Vespula because it's the same thing, you know?
Copy paste, recolor, done.
I think it's a good idea. I need my parasitic egg. Oh, I hate Vizani's Nightmare so much. It's so hard. I'm 0 for 26.
Oh gosh, bro.
No, 0 for 27. God, I hate Vizani's Nightmare.
So we're gonna open and close the episode with the same sentiment. You're really gonna do that to people, Oxie.
I'm gonna do that to people. I have to give myself a little bit of hope. I failed Zulrah 36 times.
Yeah.
Almost back to back to back before I got my first Zulrah kill. This is literally Zulrah 2.0 for me. This is horrible content. Hopefully, by next week, I have a KC there. But we'll see.
We'll see.
With that, folks, Michael and I leave you. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you're hyped for Leagues 3. Hope you enjoyed this kind of extended fun section where we shouted out patrons who are not called Patreons, but other patrons. And did the Achievement of the Week. Give us feedback on Achievement of the Week, what you guys would like to see. It's going to scale a lot because, like we said, achievements are different for every person. So one week we might have, like we said, someone's first Abyssal Whip. The next week we might have someone's Dusted Zikpat. Who knows? In any case, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next week. Bye. Everyone.